Hi handsome and welcome to my 54th video, as well as to another IronPan challenge episode. The series where I attempt to make 1 million of every single meal in the game without the use of the center market to buy the ingredients. Today is the time to finally tell you about the journey to get 1 million Kamasylvia meals, which I have gathered all the necessary ingredients for back in August of last year, but took me until today to actually make. In the last episode, I showed you how I made 1 million Valencia meals, during which someone in the comments asked me what my storage actually looks like. Well, I keep all of the meals alongside some of the ingredients in a single storage, that being Velandir, so this one is for you, Mr. Uncreepy Gaming 940. I hope it makes you feel something inside. On a side note, while we are already showing you this, I was mostly focusing on making 1 million of the base grade of the meal, which means I got roughly 200,000 of the special variants of all the meals so far, as you can see, so if you guys have any ideas about what to do with them, I'd appreciate it. Most of the meals left do not have a special version, so it's mostly these and I think Serendia and Galphion out of the ones that I still have yet to do, and I might just end up Imperial delivering them, but that does sound a little bit boring, so do let me know what you have in mind. With that out of the way, let's get right to the chase. This meal is very deceptively difficult to make under the IronPan rules. On the surface, you look at this list and think it cannot be that bad to get. And yeah, you'll be correct, it really isn't. You might think these rainbow butter mushrooms might be a big deal, but they are surprisingly easy to gather, and if you have seen my video from back when I gathered them all, which was also when I still thought that making 2 million of every single meal was feasible and therefore spent twice as much time needed to gather them all, you'll also know how much money gathering them can make you. Right, so that's not the problem. It must be the other gathered ingredients, right? Well, what gathered ingredients? There's only one, and it's red meat, the easiest gathered ingredient to even get. It doesn't need a lot of farm crops or even eggs either. Both of these things can be a bottleneck in some other meals. Most of the ingredients you can just buy at a vendor or get from workers easily over time. No. The biggest problem with this meal is at first glance a hidden one, especially when you are conditioned to buying things from the center market and pay no mind to how the Kamasylvia meal is made. It's the goddamn coconuts. The only way to get coconuts in any substantial amount is through workers. There are exactly 2 nodes in the entire game, and combined, they give you roughly 600 coconuts per day. Kamasylvia meal alone requires 130,000 of them. That's over 200 days of keeping the game on 24/7. You cannot farm the coconuts, you cannot gather them, you cannot hunt them, you cannot even get them from a random mob. The only other way you can get coconuts in any way is through daily quests and stealing from NPCs in Arehaza. I have already showcased the stealing in a previous video, so you are free to go and watch that, but as a quick recap, you need to be in Arehaza and steal from the named NPCs there. You do that by walking behind the NPC and pressing F6. It costs 12 energy, has roughly 50% chance to get caught, and if you do end up getting caught, you lose 1k karma and 100 amity with the NPC who caught you. So don't do this to anyone with knowledge or an amity shop you might want to use. If you succeed, you have a small chance to get, I believe, 1 to 6 coconuts per attempt, and some of the recipes made from coconuts, including the special Arehaza meal and coconut pasta, which is the important bit for today's video. Doing this is awful. You can absolutely go red doing this, especially if you don't grind in your spare time, and you are not even guaranteed to get coconuts in the first place. Even the quest in Valencia, that is the only other way to get coconuts, gets you 10 of them per day, which doesn't make it much better. But hey, at least I got the meal done now, and I can sleep easy, right? No harm, no foul, it's done. Except I can't, because there's the one meal that I have already mentioned, which also requires coconuts, and not just that, it requires 4 times the amount that Kamasylvia does. For those of you keeping check, that's special Arehaza meal that requires nearly 600,000 coconuts, which is around 900 days, or if you want, 2.5 years of having the game online 24/7. I am still not sure how that's going to pan out because I don't have the aspirations of keeping this challenge for 2.5 years. And I don't even think it would be possible to keep it that long, but that is a problem for the future me. If you guys have any ideas about it, do let me know. Let's return to Kamasylvia meals, because they seem to be one of the most valuable meals you can make on a regular account. I don't know how much they really sell, because on EU they seem to be limited by a low supply, but they have been going up in price lately, and they seem to go in and out of stock quite often, so the ultimate decision to make them is up to you. I cook with between 2.2 and 2.4k mastery depending on whether or not I use the Florin and Grolin life skill buffs, but for me at least, BDalytics shows around 1.2 billion silver an hour if I were to buy the processed ingredients, which is mostly the dough and the cream, of the center market, which obviously I didn't do for the sake of the challenge. This does make Kamasylvia meal one of the best cooking recipes you can do for silver on a regular account. This is also coupled with a very low amount of things you need to gather yourself. I mean, it's literally just the rainbow button mushrooms in Kamasylvia. So again, if you are interested in doing this meal and making it yourself, go watch that older video of mine for the full rotation. All of this combined, in my opinion, makes this meal even better than Valencia in terms of the required active gameplay, and therefore, if you just want to cook, this might be the best meal for it, because it has the same amount of EXP as well, and you will most likely make more money. Like I said, if your only goal is to make silver from cooking, then I highly recommend that you go and buy the processed ingredients, which are dough, flour, cream, and cheese from the center market, assuming that you can do so. If you are insistent on making everything yourself, then you will find the grain needed for the dough from all the worker nodes that I have already mentioned many times in previous IronPan videos, and you will also need figs from the Valencia locations from the last video, and some eggs from the free chicken nodes found in the game. If you want to get more eggs, I also have a dedicated egg guide, so you can go and watch that. You probably won't need it for Kamasylvia meal specifically, but just in the future. After this, all you will need are crops, which include garlic and onions, which once again, if you don't have the contribution points or you don't have the pay to win fences, you can just buy them from the center market, assuming that you don't care about self-sufficiency. When it comes to actually making the silver out of them, you obviously have the option to just sell them on the center market as is, or Imperial delivery them, which if you are self-making it, is comparable or on the same level as other guru recipes, at least from what I can see. But you can also combine them with special Arehaza and Serendia meals to make exquisite cron meals for additional profit. BDalytics says something around 600 million per hour. I have not tested this, so I'm not really sure. You will have to let me know how it goes. If you are already allowing yourself to use the center market, neither Arehaza nor Serendia meal should be that difficult to make, because most of the ingredients are once again bottlenecked by workers. So if you can bypass that with the center market, you should really be fine. It really is quite surprising to me that people tell you to get Valencia meals, but not Kamasylvia. The only idea and reason why I believe that Valencia is more popular and Kamasylvia is kind of obscure is because life skills have this unfortunate feature where the moment a video telling you to gather or cook or hunt comes out, the profits from that activity fall down a cliff. It's just basic supply and demand. Exquisite cron meal has a third of the daily volume of simple cron meal, which is the one that you need Valencia meal for. So make with that what you will, but I still believe that Kamasylvia has a market to exploit. Assuming that this video doesn't pop off in the algorithm, enjoy this little secret from yours truly. Next episode of the IronPan will be either Calphion or Special Dragonese meal. I don't really know which one I will end up making yet, as both of them do need cooking honey and I only have enough to cook one or the other as of right now, so I will let it be a surprise for both me and you. I hope you enjoyed this video today, handsome. Remember to like and subscribe, and enjoy your grind.